What's up, guys? We're back with the Nerd Shack. If you don't know who we are or what we do,
She's C.
and he's K.
I'm annoyance.
Sort of. Very much so. We are Casey's Nerd Shack, and we do reselling. So it's a combination of stuff we've already owned, stuff that we buy at thrift stores, yard sales, we get from family members, and we sell it on eBay. A good portion of it is also Pokemon cards is another part that we do. A big part of it is we open them up on video on our Poke channel, and then we sell what we got. Today we are going to be going over our financial analytics for everything that we sell, and then we're going to split it into two different parts. We're going to do everything, and then we're just going to do the Pokemon cards, then we're going to do all together.
The Pokemon cards are a bad thing.
Yeah, our analytics are good up until Pokemon cards.
They're just expensive.
Yeah, they're very expensive. It's an expensive thing to start out.
So if you want to skip to the Pokemon part, it's somewheres over here in the video. I think this is where the time's going to be.
Oh no, you're right. It'll be over here.
But it's also going to have a different breakdown on the Pokemon channel.
That's a little bit about who we are, what we do, our channels. We have a resell channel as well as a Poke channel. If you're more interested in the Pokemon side of it, go check us out there. If you're interested in everything in the reselling part of it, check us out here. So that's a little bit about who we are, what we're doing, what we're going to discuss in today's video. A little bit about the backstory of why we started reselling and when we started. We're coming up on 2 months of the idea to start reselling.
Yes, beginning of July 1st, watched a video, saw it, looked into it, and by July 8th, our first item was posted and sold 2 days later.
Yes. Yes, he came to me and he said, I want to do this. And still to this day, he talks about how he's so surprised that I said, okay, let's do it. Prior to July, prior to us starting, end of 2023, I was pregnant. And very pregnant, and I was in and out of the hospital constantly, and he was working as a truck driver and
local home daily truck driver, but starting at 2 o'clock in the morning every single day, only having Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. It did not work. The baby never wanted to come on a weekday, wanted to come on a weekend, spending time with the other kids. It's not worth it. And the work I had, the place I worked with, the management was terrible. You could not get a day off without getting your head chewed off. And December, I decided to be done with it. Terrible time to do it. It's Christmas there, but the last month and a half before the baby actually arrived, after going to the hospital every single week for 2 months, February, found some other job. Didn't work out at all. 3 months of it as a 1099 employee was not worth it. Did not work out here where we live. Bigger cities, major cities, it would work. And every other job I applied to, no matter how much experience I had in management, construction, all they saw was a truck driver. And beginning of July, we saw a video of a guy who got fired selling stuff on eBay. You probably have seen him because that video went viral. We got the idea. We had a bunch of stuff. We were actually getting rid of a lot of stuff. In the midst of getting rid of all of that stuff, they're like, why don't we turn around and try selling it? And by the 8th of July, got the store figured out, got everything that we needed figured out, started selling it, and so far we're at an average of 3 items a day, and it's just up and up and up.
yes, we've learned a lot, and it's definitely something that we can see.
I can't say how many times I've purchased a label twice on accident, or purchased the wrong label and ended up losing money.
Yes, so as we were going through and figuring everything out, I realized at the beginning especially, there were plenty of times where we would buy a label 2-3 times for the same purchase. And so there are some purchases, some of our very first purchases.
Yes, I remember
we were in the negatives for actual total earnings because of, and it was labels, and it would have.
Yes, I remember specifically. Well, there's one. It was a Pokemon card. It's supposed to be $1.25 for the labels. But when I went to go purchase it, for some reason, I wasn't paying attention, and it switched it to Ground Advantage. and it ended up coming out to like $5 for the label because it was going all the way across the country.
Yeah, so we've made a couple mistakes along the way. We figured the labels out. We figured all of that out, thankfully.
For the most part.
Yes, for the most part. I imagine there will be more mistakes made in the future. I think one time we didn't put the right like sizing for the box or weight for one of the boxes, and we ended up having to pay extra for that one.
I don't remember.
Yeah, there's been quite a few different things that we made mistakes on along
But
the way.
nearly 100 items sold and what, 20 positive reviews?
Yes,
One out of like 4 people, positive experiences, 5 out of 5, which I'm happy about. No negative reviews. We've only had 2 items, one of which it just was a mailing error. They said delivered when it arrived at the local post office, and then it delivered on the day it was supposed to, and the customer was happy and fine with it. Another one went to Puerto Rico. I still have no idea where it is, but we refunded the person their money, and now we're trying to track down where the package is.
Yeah, thankfully it was only like $7 for that one. It wasn't a huge purchase. And then there was another thing that we sold. We sold it untested, and the buyer reached out to us saying it's not working. This is what's showing up, and we sent them troubleshoot options, things like that, and basically explained we did put in the listing that it was untested. So as far as our obligation for the item was out of our hands, and that they didn't message us back. So hopefully they figured it out, but we haven't ran into any huge snags. So that is the story of why we're here, why we started doing this, and all in all, it worked out for the better.
At least for right now. We basically started with $0. The stuff that we had from when we were younger, everything, all that kind of stuff is what we basically have built everything on, going from $0 to a total of a couple thousand in just 2 months.
Yeah, we're sitting in 2,900 before fees and everything. Okay, so what we're going to work on now is we're going to go through we're going to make a graph of what we've spent, what we've sold before the fees have taken out, eBay fees, promotion fees, any sales tax, all of that, and then our total sold after the fees. This is the first chart we're going to go over here. Right here is everything, not including Pokemon cards. As we've mentioned, Pokemon cards is a big part of our sales, and they are a different category because of how we buy them. And
yeah, we're not going to garage sales. We're not going to the thrift stores and finding them. We're buying the actual EBTs and collector boxes and everything. We're opening them that way in the packs. So we're not counting them towards the reselling. They're their own thing, and
we have an entirely different channel because they are their own thing. So we're not including that in this everything else. And because of that, and because we started out selling a lot of things that we already own, things that were given to us, I actually, if you've seen the video up here, you might see that I came into a ton of clothes for free that I've been selling. So our spend right here is probably going to be the lowest that it will ever be as we kind of clear out some of this pre-owned inventory.
Yes, which right now, taking a ballpark, because we weren't keeping track of everything, and some people like to keep track of how much gas they spend. Other people like to do how long they spend hourly per item and such. Just keeping track of gas for the most part and money spent on items. We're only about at $250 spent between gas going to a couple different places. Sometimes they're 30-40 minutes away, out of the way, and gas is expensive. Otherwise, not including gas, probably at about $175 spent on new inventory.
So that includes things from thrift stores. That includes, yard sales. I went to this one yard sale, and the lady, it was a very nice, it was like a wealthy folks, if you will, and they were just selling all kinds of clothes and things for $1, and I picked up so many incredible items from there. Really nice vanities, sports memorabilia, $1 each. I probably spent about $20 there, and I made back everything that I spent within 3 sales from there. So that was something good, something to look out for. My biggest thing at thrift stores at the moment is ink cartridges. Ink cartridges sell.
So if we take everything before taxes, fees, anything, we're not including any shipping in this because the buyers, they pay the shipping, and we've made some mistakes with the shipping for having to pay extra for labels or just not having the dimensions wrong, and they're already paying for it. I don't consider it profit. It's just extra money that gets calculated on later for taxes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the pink or red, whatever it's showing up on the camera, is the stuff that we already own, such as my old Pokemon games and such. They sold for about $1,200 all within the first month. They're all gone now, and we were able to take that money and be able to spend on new inventory, which in total, the $250 we spent between gas and new inventory has so far sold for $750, and we still have a lot of other items listed. There's about 250 right now. There's only probably another $300 worth of stuff that we originally owned left in there. All the rest of it is still up for sale, which comes out to about $3,000 worth of stuff, which, yes, a lot of it's shirts and pants from everything that we got from the lot that you found and just other stuff we have found at thrift stores and were given, which brings the total, not including any of the Pokemon cards, all the way up to $1,950, which 2 months ago, having nothing and selling just $2,000 worth of, half of it being almost random stuff that I would have never thought was worth anything. From ink cartridges, I think one of our better sales was like a Harry Potter mouse pad, keyboard bundle. We found Coca-Cola bears, which I wish we still had because I wanted them. They were one of the first things that we bought, and they took about a month and a half to sell. We bought them for like $15, and they sold for nearly $60.
We probably could have gotten more for them if we waited a little longer, but they were taking up so much inventory space. I wanted them gone.
I did not want them gone. I wanted
still
them.
has mixed feelings about me.
Yes, and it was
taking such a low ball offer for them.
Yes, what was it? I had them listed for $75, $70.
Yeah.
They sold for $60, and I was not ready to let them go. I was hoping they would stick around for Christmas so I could put my cookies in it.
I wanted them gone. I wanted the inventory space.
Like, out of the clothes haul you got, there were, what were they, your cargo pants? You sold a lot of them for $3. They were up for $40, but we just had a sale, so they went on for $33.
So those were the 511 tactical jean cargo pants. They're really, really nice cargo pants. The only thing is there was some stains on them and rips and things like that. And I put that all in the description. I let the buyer know they're well loved. I put them up as a lot for 3 for $40. Usually one pair goes for like 40 to 50, so I figured that was a steal.
And like your first thing, your Hitachi rice cooker, you said you paid like $3 for?
Yes, it was only like $3 for a Hitachi rice cooker.
You took a best offer on it for $30, and I think you had it up for $35. And it only took a month or so. There were...
Yeah, rice cookers, guys, especially... I got a tip from another YouTuber, and I held on to it while I was looking. Not like Hitachi rice cookers. Don't pick up anything that you can go out to Walmart and buy, but those more high-end, odd brands like Hitachi is what you want to look for.
You had your Kodak films, which I think you got in a bundle with a couple other things for like $5,
Yes.
$25. So we found
Kodak film, guys. Any type of camera film, pick it up. Pick it up, put it up, even if it's expired. Seriously, that stuff
or any
goes. That was a quick turnaround too. That was within days.
brand new Yankee candles.
Bath and Body Works Yankee candles. Those are really good ones.
What I don't recommend anybody doing is going out and buying like food and drink stuff that sells. When we started, the Reese's Puff, Dragon Ball Z cereals were out. Everybody was talking about it, and we were like, hey, we have like $60, $70, and we went out, we bought all the ones at our local store. In the 2 months, only one of them has sold, and I just want to take them down. Just give them, let the kids eat them because they're not going to sell.
I would be careful with things like that. Probably not going to be one of our future buys.
You can keep talking.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, that's not something that I want to invest in the future, honestly. Like I said, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't, save that for your local kids. Save that for the kids who, local people.
Yes, if you want to buy that food, just
If you want to
give
buy
it to your own kids.
Yeah, if you want to buy it for yourself, that's fine, but I would probably just save it for yourself. It feels better. Save it for your local kids. If you want to buy it, donate it or something. Donate it to a kid who parents maybe don't care or don't want to buy that,
So after all the taxes, all the fees have come out, and even calculating like our mistakes for the shipping labels that we bought too many times, we still made a profit of a little over $1,500 for everything. I don't know how much of that is from the money that we just got from the stuff that we sold. I didn't do that math, but still $1,500 instead from having nothing to turn around, help pay bills, reinvest some of the money. Listing something better every single day is better than listing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's only $2, if you still list it, your store still stays active. eBay still thinks that you're alive out there.
Yeah, it's better to list something than to not list something. But with that being said, it's also to make sure that you're listing things that are going to sell. Preferably going to sell at a quicker sell-through rate, but that's not always possible. But as long as they sell, sure you focus on things that are at least going to sell.
Yes, we've bought plenty of things that 3 weeks in and we're waiting on. We did a challenge for each other, $10 for our anniversary. Her item sold within a week. My item barely sold like last week.
My second haul, two of my items sold.
Aren't you lucky?
Yes.
Yes, and I've already spent my $8 I made. I'm waiting on another item to sell. I've sent out offers. Nobody's biting on it. You really got to check the sell-through rate, because I bought an item. I was like, this will sell at some point for decent money. I bought a flower pot, like a King Arthur flower pot, for $3. It sells for 15 to 20. Now, I mean, yes, it's good money, but waiting for it to sell.
So I can probably put something in here to show you guys kind of what we're talking about when we talk about sell-through rate. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to check the sell-through rate on an item. I'm going to click this first search right here, the Shark Bare Floor Carpet Cleaner attachment. So you click on it and you're going to be brought to this page right here. So the third one down is the one that I have right here, the NV500. That is the one that I have. So just kind of do a quick search on this one. There's only one that I've seen so far here, so that means that not a lot of people are selling them from what I can tell. So then what you're going to do is you're going to click this filter button. You're going to go to show more. You're going to go down. You're going to click sold items. With clicking that, it's also going to do completed items, and then you're going to look at this part. So again, you want to make sure that's NV500. It's that same one. June 27th, July 29th, August 30th, August 29th, September 1st. So you can see right here, July 24th, September 4th, September 7th. You can see that they are selling, and they are selling pretty quick. There's a lot of the sales are within the last month or two. That's what I always look for, is how many are selling in the last month or so, and you can see just a ton of them. So that was a good pickup for me. I ended up putting it up. I picked it up last night at my local Goodwill, and I sold it this morning. I picked it up for like $2.50, and I ended up selling it. I took a best offer for $35. So that's kind of how you click that sell-through rate. I just do it super quick so that I can research it in a store. But yeah,
That is
how you
so
check it.
important. There are so many things that we've looked up and we've gone, oh, well, that's worth quite a bit of money, but we didn't look at the sell-through rate. So yes, it will sell at some point, but if you're looking to make money now, you want to make sure that you're looking at those sold/completed items versus what is currently on the market, and you want to see a high sell-through rate. You want to see items that are selling quickly. Like I said, certain ink cartridges sell really well. I made the mistake so many times of picking up ink cartridges just because, and I'm now learning that some just don't do as well. It also depends on the brand. You want to make sure that like Hewlett Packard, things like that. So really focus on brand, focus on that sell-through rate.
Yes, like your Flower Girl thing that you bought at the beginning. It's still sitting there. The prices went down $7 since we got it. It's still sitting there.
Yes, I made the mistake. It was only $3. It was definitely not a wise purchase.
Well, here's this too.
Ceramic
I
doll.
bought these Japanese. They're antiques. They're 1960 salt and pepper shakers. They were like 50 cents each. They sell for about $10, $12. No one wants them.
Yeah, that's the thing is you got to make sure that it's something that people want, which a lot of those more unique items, if I'm being completely honest, probably not going to have the best sell on eBay. A lot of the times, people who are buying on eBay go in and they are looking for a specific item. They are looking for a remote that broke. They are looking for a replacement set to their china. They are looking for iRobot attachments, Shark vacuum attachments. eBay's not really something for unique items. You could probably do better on other ones. Probably Macari. I don't know much about that one. We sell board games are going to be a higher sell-through rate, and they're just going to be better to go on eBay. Certain books, your buyer is looking for a specific item. Whenever they go to eBay, they are going to type in a very specific item. That is what they are looking for. That is what they want. It is not time to mess around and put up unique, odd items.
Unless you want to sit on them forever.
Yes, I will say our Hugging Bears one, I was kind of surprised it sold. I could not find any information on it at all. There was I searched and searched and searched and searched. There is nothing on the internet for it. If you look it up right now, you will probably find our sold listing, and that is it on eBay. That's just one of those things that I was surprised that it sold, but it took a month or so. It took a while to sell. So if you don't mind sitting on an item, pick it up. But if you're really stuck in a predicament right now where
Yep, there it is.
You need the money, you want to do a sell-through rate. Look at that sell-through rate.
Yep, $75 I had it listed for. Yep. Sold it for under 60.
Yeah, so if you look up very specifically those Hugging Bears, it's ours. It's the only one on the internet that you will probably ever find somehow or another. So they do sell. Unique items do sell, but
okay.
Ready?
Okay. Are you?
No.
Why?
Okay, so now we're going to get into the Pokemon side of things. As we mentioned a little bit before, selling Pokemon cards is a whole different side of it. We actually we had two channels. We have our resale channel and we have our Poke channel for it. And the only reason why is because it's a whole different ball game. Again, we are not going to thrift stores. We are not buying these from yard sales. We are putting money into ETBs. It is partially a hobby, partially a reselling.
Already had thousands of cards of my own from when I was growing up and everything. And I would say out of the 100, close to 100 that we have either listed and sold together, 5 of them have been from mine because I can't give them up.
It is definitely a whole other ball game.
We aren't on TCG Player yet. We've looked into it. It's crossed our mind for something maybe in the future, but it's a lot more work, and the payout of every 2-3 weeks after your card sells for a card that's sold for $1, where it's just not worth it right now. eBay, as far as I know, still owns TCG Player, so at some point in the future we might do it for some of the smaller cards. But
yeah, so as my husband was just going through and looking at our sales and our renewals and everything, the biggest thing that we notice is the chase cards go very quickly on eBay, but we are still sitting on quite a few cards that are smaller that
yeah,
don't go as quickly, which we've heard.
There's a Charizard EX from, I believe, what was the Charizard one?
It would have been from one of our first. It probably would have been from our Charizard UPC, honestly.
No, not that one.
No?
The Charizard EX from, what was it? Obsidian Flames. I keep getting offers all the time for it. People try low borrowing it. We've gotten so many good cards. We pulled Perrin, the secret illustration rare, multiple times.
Yes, we pulled Perrin a couple times, as well as the Growlithe. We actually just sold the Perrin Growlithe, and we cut a deal with the person with the Marnie as well, where they bought all three of them. Incredible seller, really great to work with. Definitely will work.
Yes, we bought the Charizard premium
buyer
special edition packs that they had years ago. We were buying them just for ourselves and our kids. So our first videos were of the stuff that we already had for like 2 years, and we were like, it's time to open them. And so not counting any of that and the money spent, because we bought that 2-3 years ago. We know what we paid for them, but they're not included in this because that was old money. Right now, if we were to sit there between all the stuff, we go to our local GameStop. But right now, we are at, it is expensive.
Oh. Again, this is a whole different ballpark. This is not whole different ballpark ball game. This is a more so a hobby.
Yes, we are at, so far, between all the Elite Trainer boxes we have bought and everything, we have so far spent $950 on them.
Yes, 900. Yes. Oh gosh.
They are expensive. I know a lot of people will say sit on them, wait. That's just not happening.
Maybe in the future we would love to get to that point, but at this moment we are buying the new ones. We are opening them on camera. Every single pack that we have bought, except for one, which I don't want to talk about.
Yeah,
we have
didn't hit record.
We have opened on camera and then taken those and posted them on our eBay store. And most of the time, especially with the newer packs, they sell pretty quick. Did we already sell that other parent?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they sell pretty quick. We already have our gold energy that I just pulled already sold.
Okay. Well, since you can't think of words right now, we are at. Oop. I know.
Oh gosh.
We're at, before all the fees and everything is taken out, we're at about $450 for the cards that have sold, which has only been about a month and a half worth. There are several cards that we haven't put up that are worth money because we want to go get them graded, because it says selling them for $20 now. Graded, they're worth so much more, and some of them we just personally like, so we've kept. But for the most part, most of them have sold.
So that is something else too that you're pointing out that I am remembering, because I saw this already and my heart kind of dropped a little bit. But we're also remembering that we started the Pokemon about a half a month or so into reselling.
Yes, we spent most of the money we made from reselling at the beginning, from the money that the Pokemon games that I had and some of the other stuff, we put into
Pokemon cards
Yes.
so that we can open videos, because that's also something that we're trying to do, is grow our channels at the same time. So we're trying to invest into that as well. So that makes me feel a little bit better too. There's quite a few Pokemon cards that we're sitting on right now.
Well,
quite a few that we've gotten offers for as well. So
if it makes you feel any better.
are you talking about what's up there right now?
So
Listed?
after fees, we are about roughly $400, give or take. Some more cards have sold, and we've just kind of rounded the numbers. But we're
That's actually not too bad for them.
no, it's probably a little bit lower. I didn't want to do all the math. So it's about $400, probably less. Again, we're not including any of the shipping fees or anything. It's $1.25 per card unless it's over $20. Then you have to pay extra because they're worth more. You got to package them better. I don't think we're doing too bad because we have about $600 worth of cards that are up waiting to be sold, and we have about $400 worth of cards that we haven't put up at all. They're not being planned to put up anytime soon. They're waiting to be graded, but we want to send them all in together so we can get them all back together and make a whole video on it. All in all, we're slightly above. We haven't been able to go out and buy any new sets because we're waiting for more of them to sell. We're waiting for more the other stuff to sell, but it's slowly going up, having $1,100 in total between sold and stuff that is listed. We're still in the positives. Or at least we got to look at it like that. Otherwise, this is a bad addiction to be continuing. I don't think, even if it keeps going down, I feel like we'll still keep buying Pokemon cards because they are fun to buy. They're fun to open. And like I said, we pulled Parent out twice. We pulled out a couple other cards.
That gold energy was a good pull.
Yes, a lot of the chase cards everybody's trying to find, we've pulled them out. It's been fun. It's been enjoyable. We've gotten decent money for the offers for our Persian.
Usually about every weekend, I feel like at the end of the week, I feel like I send off about 8 cards in total at least.
Yep,
we've sold quite a few cards, but a lot of them are $3, $4. Some of them are $1.
Yep,
so we sell a lot of cards actually.
We have a couple people that have tried lowballing us on the Duskull, the Arceus card, the gold Arceus we have right now. It's listed for about $70. I've had people send us offers for like $40. There's been somebody else just today. They looked at us, they looked at our profile and saw that we were new, and they were trying to sweet talk us into giving them a sale on a Persian that was already 20% off. They wanted us to go to 30% off to give it to them. Sweet talk us, tell me I'm pretty and everything, and that if I sent them more pictures and stuff, they would consider paying for 30-35% off the card.
Now that you mention that, it happens quite a bit, I think, because we're newer sellers and we don't have a whole lot of feedback. We do tend to get people in our, messaging us, trying to get deals or trying to
lowball offers on so many different things.
Yes, and the thing is we've done our research. We know what things are worth, and we know what.
Yes, they tell us, oh, this, that, everything that you want to hear. We let them know. We're like, this is the best offer. We explain to them why. So all of that, and then we never hear back from them. They never go and buy the card that they were interested in or the other item that they were interested in.
It's a really important thing, whether you're doing regular reselling, whether you're doing Pokemon reselling, whatever you're trying to get into, whatever you're trying to work on, set your price in your mind, set a lowest offers that you will accept, and keep to that. Do not give in to people just because it will sell. Trust me. If you've done your research and you see that it sells for this price, it will sell. It may take some time, but it will sell. Do not let people try and lowball you just because you are a new seller.
Future me jumping in to say real quick,
Don't take those lowball offers seriously. Trust your gut. If you did your research, the card or item will sell for what you are asking for. Right after we record this video, within the next couple days, the Persian and the Dusclops that we kept getting lowball offers ended up selling for pretty much what we were asking. We might have taken an offer, I can't quite remember, but seriously, if you did your research, don't take lowballs.
That is
Trust
one
your
of the
gut.
biggest advice. I've let some stuff go for
Yeah, my bears.
cheap bears. My bears. I showed them to him and I said, "Is that a good buy?
They're my bears.
It's kind of expensive, and you already said you're ready to check out."
My
I
bears.
showed you. I showed you. They were my bears. Anyways, we let some stuff go for cheaper than we probably could have, and it's a learning experience for sure. And that's one of my biggest advices to you is if you're willing to sit on it, don't let it go for cheaper. Yeah?
I want to go buy more Pokemon cards.
This is definitely Stellar Crown is probably I don't know if we're gonna do any more Shattered Fable. I know Stellar Crown comes out in the next week or so, right? Another like week.
Uh-huh.
So we'll probably end
Oh, no, you just keep talking. I'm just updating it.
for what?
Oh, because whenever this video comes out, if Stellar Crown's there, just updating it to how much we're going to spend. I already know.
Yeah, so Stellar Crown comes out. Yes. Right now we're trying to just do newer packs. Chase cards that went up $100.
That went up $50.
Why 50?
So I can buy 3. 1 for you and 2 for me.
That's not fair.
You just keep talking.
Pokemon cards, that's another big thing is if you're starting out, my biggest advice to you, the biggest thing that I think we found too, is stick to the newer packs as they come out and then sell the chase cards.
If you have a collection, you're willing to part with it, do your research on the card.
Be careful with your local card shops as well. Another big advice, if you are wanting to sell your collection, might eBay, TCG Player.
Yes, any local card shop you go to, they're gonna offer you
remember that
at least 40% off of what they actually are. You're not gonna get more. They'll probably offer you even less. Like for me, they only gave me about 75% of what they were, or 25% of what they were worth.
It's completely understandable. They are a business. They are trying to make their own money, but also just if you're going in there trying to make money, keep that in mind.
Do your research, figure out what you're comfortable letting them go. You go into your local card shop with a card and it's valued at 100 and they offer you 25 bucks for it. That's up to you. If you want to let it go for $25, fine, but that's not like 75, maybe even $65, because yes, it's going to sit on their shelf. They're only going to make $100 on it, maybe a little bit less. They got to make money, but you got to be careful. We haven't gone back to that local card shop at all because of that experience.
So that is a little bit about us. That is a little bit about our bigger sells, some insights, and that is the breakdown between reselling everything and Pokemon cards. Again, reiteration, Pokemon cards, a whole different ballpark. That is why we broke it up the way that we did. That is why we have 2 different channels for reselling and Pokemon. They're 2 different ballparks, truly. So we have here our graph for everything together, Pokemon cards and everything else together. As you can see here, we've spent $1,200 all together, Pokemon cards and and everything else. Sold before the fees about $2,400.
Yeah, something like that. Well, because our total profit on eBay shows it includes shipping and everything. It says about $3,000, not including the shipping or anything. It's about $2,400, give or take, because we've sold like 12 things since we wrote down all the numbers and they're all over the place and we haven't added them all up yet. And then after all the taxes, fees, everything's been taken out, and the money that we get sent to us is roughly 17 to 1900, so I just put down 18 because I haven't done the math on the other 12 things that have sold since we wrote down these numbers the other day.
So these are our finals. So you're looking at $1,200 spent, $1,800 after fees. But you have to understand that $950 of this is Pokemon cards, and only about 400 was the math afterwards of this.
Yeah, something like that.
About 400 of this was actually
like I said, these two numbers are not 100% accurate.
Pokemon cards.
You're trying to resell, you're trying to make a profit. I don't recommend Pokemon cards. I donate plasma twice a week. That gives us extra money. We're also babysit on the side, which is a little bit of extra cash. All of our other bills are paid for. We also are going to be on Facebook Marketplace at the point. We have a ton of furniture. We're just waiting for it to cool off so we can go and refurbish it. Most of it is antique furniture. It just needs to be sanded down and repainted and all that. But it's 120 degrees outside. We already have, I think, 13 pieces of furniture between nightstands, dressers, coffee tables that we're going to do at some point.
Which, yes, were all given to us as well years and years. That was like years ago.
Yes, they were all given to us. We're just going to turn around at some point. We'll make a video on them, sanding them down, painting them, and seeing how well they go on Facebook Marketplace. When the winter visitors come back, our town is filled with them in the wintertime. Summertime, not so good out here for even going to Goodwills, going to the thrift stores, because nobody wants to go into a house and empty out. Nobody cares. Wintertime comes around, everything booms.
So yes, that's a good point as well. These are our numbers right now.
For summer.
We live, again, as you mentioned, we live in a town where during the summertime, our population drops at least 50%. Yeah, at least 50%. During the wintertime, snowbirds come back, and they're usually elder folk who end up coming back. So the thrift stores end up getting filled up with more vintage things. Yard sales end up coming out, more vintage things. Vintage items sell.
So yes, this is everything that, 2 months, $600 profit. If you take away the Pokemon cards and only focus on the reselling part, we made decent money.
Pokemon cards is definitely more of a hobby. It's definitely, again, if you're getting into reselling.
And I feel like this has also been more of a part-time thing that we've done.
Oh, for sure.
From 0 to 250 and making a profit. Great. So hopefully by Christmas time this will all double, if not quadruple by then, I hope. I hope by then this can be full-time. We'll have the extra income to go buy more, start making videos going to the different places maybe.
If you have any video ideas for either channel, please let us know, reselling or the Pokemon channel. Again, Pokemon channel is going to be more Pokemon. Reselling is going to be more reselling. So
yes, we're still going. If you have the capability, you have the finances to do it, it doesn't hurt to go out to your thrift store, see what you have around the house, sell it. Maybe you'll make enough to go on a trip part-time. You just have to build your inventory, and then you have to just have patience.
And someone said it's better to share your insights and to get these items out to other people than to let it go to landfills.
Yes.
So get those items, rehome them to people who need them, want them, love them. A lot of these items that sell aren't being remade. Anything else you want to add?
Cookies. I want my bear back.
If you bought a bear from us, hit us up. Apparently.
I want my bear back. Such a cute bear. Look,
I know.
Put it here. Here. Let me hold it one more time. I'm giving you so much work, aren't I?
You are. That is a lot of work.
Where's my bear?
That is going to be really hard.
Have fun with that.
I'll do it. I'll get it done.
So yeah, so you can leave your comments.
If you can't tell by now, I'm the editor. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, you can leave your comments if you have ideas, if you've bought something for us, if you've had experiences on eBay, whether they're good or bad. Maybe at some point we'll read the comments. we're going to try to do something every week or every month where go through, look at the comments, look at everything that has sold, and let you guys know too.